Whether it's your first time or you've been coming for years, the sight of hundreds of hot air balloons rising over Albuquerque never loses its wonder.
Just love the Balloon Fiesta. I love flying. I love the event and the people out here in Albuquerque. It's so much fun to fly out here.
Just the atmosphere here, so many balloons together, and I don't know, just Albuquerque.
For more than 50 years, the Duke City has hosted the world's largest gathering of hot air balloons. Each year bringing more people, more excitement, and more memories.
Once you get up in those things, you fall in love with them.
It's all about family. It's all about having fun, community, friends, happy times.
The spectacular sights and sounds of Fiesta start before the sun is up. Pilots, crews, and excited onlookers fill Balloon Fiesta Park. Excitement as the first balloons cover the grass. Then the sounds of Fiesta begin.
It was very well worth getting up at 3:30 this morning to get here.
The hum of the fans filling envelopes with cool air.
Then the burners fire up, lighting the sky and warming cold hands. As hot air fills the balloon, it starts to rise, ready for takeoff. Everyone gazing up in awe.
It's just unbelievable. You can't explain the sights, the sounds, the cheer of the crowds. It's amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's just beautiful.
There's nothing better than seeing somebody experience Balloon Fiesta for the first time.
This is Balloon Fiesta.
Today we are taking you on a journey through the skies, celebrating one of our most beloved traditions.
The Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, an event that's created unforgettable memories and captured imaginations for 52 years.
Today, Fiesta is known for those breathtaking views of hundreds of hot air balloons painting the Albuquerque sky, but it has humble beginnings. It started with a birthday party and a balloon pilot named Sid Cutter. A local radio station was organizing a celebration for its 50th anniversary, and they asked him for help.
They got talking about, hey, let's have a balloon race to help celebrate. And Sid was asked, what's the biggest balloon race there has been? And the answer was 19 balloons in England. So Sid said, let's try to get 21 balloons.
13 actually showed up, and in 1972, in the parking lot of Coronado Mall, the first Balloon Fiesta was born. Sid Cutter flying in it.
We just wanted to see what a balloon event was like. Nobody had seen one.
From there, the event only grew. The following year, 13 countries took part in the first World Hot Air Balloon Championships. We talked to Cutter in 1981, and he knew it would become something special.
I think you'll find that it's going to turn out to be the world's largest air show with old-time wing walkers, and the thing will go on up through into the afternoon instead of just quitting right after the balloons finish.
By 2000, more than 1,000 balloons took part. Sid Cutter's creation continues to put smiles on faces from around the world even after his passing in 2011. The father of Fiesta immortalized at Balloon Fiesta Park with a statue. It shows Cutter on the edge of the basket with his dogs tagging along for the flight.
One time I said, Sid, this is kind of hard work. And he said, but look how many people we're making happy. That's what Fiesta meant to him, was the happiness it brought to life and to people and to the city.
Making people happy, the motivation behind the world's largest gathering of balloons.
And nothing compares to the look on a child's face when they see a hot air balloon inflate for the first time. There's a lot of those smiling faces at Albuquerque Aloft, a special event that happens before Balloon Fiesta. For local kids, it's a day they look forward to each year.
I woke my mom right about 5 in the morning and said, in a few minutes we better get going.
On this Friday morning before Fiesta, pilots visit local schools, spending time with kids, showing off their balloons, and giving them a glimpse into the world of ballooning. Nearly 200 pilots take part in this special event.
Those connect to the feet and the arms. Those little holes allow the hot air to go into the feet and the arms to make them sit like this.
A chance for the kids to see the balloons up close.
I like to see it blow up.
Learning about how the balloon works. It's just fun watching it, and blow up in the sky.
Some pilots launch from the schools all at the same time, a kaleidoscope of color slowly rising over Albuquerque. Others stay on the ground.
We like to stay here on site, and we let the kids get in and out of the balloon because a lot of these kids won't get that opportunity.
Pilots inspiring the next generation. and sharing the sport they love.
Ballooning is an aging out sport, and getting young people involved in ballooning, getting interested. It's why we do this, why we're at this school surrounded by kids.
It's a special time for parents and teachers too.
You get to meet people from all around the world. Last year, the people that came were from Canada, and the balloon had like the Northern Lights, and it was actually a photo of their family cabin.
For 9 days in October, the world comes to Albuquerque. This year, there's 566 pilots representing 16 countries.
It's a community that goes beyond balloons.
There are pilots that I only see once a year. They're friends, but we only meet each other once a year, and that's in Albuquerque. And every time we meet, it feels like, hey, I saw you yesterday. This is a really tight and close community.
All of the countries represented at Fiesta are honored during the Flight of Nations. It's during the Wednesday Mass Ascension. Up to 2 balloons from each country launch, proudly displaying their flag.
It's an honor to do it. You launch with in the first wave before everybody else.
A spectacular display of just how much Balloon Fiesta has grown and the effect it's having around the world.
They're the balloons we look forward to each year, and they come from all over the world with special shapes. We're going to show you the new ones taken to the skies.
And we all love seeing the balloons in the air, but there's a lot of work that happens before they take off and when they land. The people behind the scenes who make the flight possible.
We handle the equipment, we put it up, we take it down, and so it is a team effort. We couldn't do it without them, they couldn't do it without us.
Celebrating all of our favorite parts of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta and sharing some of the stories behind the envelope.
Now, we see the pilot in the basket, but it takes a whole team to make it possible. Ballooning is a team sport, and we followed along with one crew to see what it takes to make a balloon fly.
It's an early morning wake-up call for these balloonists, but worth it to create once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
As soon as the balloon gets off, as soon as the sun rises, people are so happy.
On a brisk fall morning, we followed along with the Rainbow Riders, looking at what goes into crewing a balloon.
It's basically a helium-filled party balloon, and it's going to mimic what the balloon will do as it rises.
Testing the weather to be sure everyone is safe. The pilot gives it a go, and setup begins. Just 2 people taking on a big task.
We handle the equipment, we put it up, we take it down. It's definitely a bit chaotic for a short amount of time. We gotta tip the basket, lay the balloon out. The crew chief and the pilot, they'll hook up the cables and everything. While that's happening, get the fan set up on both sides.
Once the envelope is inflated, the burners fire up.
At the top of the balloon, it's called a crown line, and that's basically to prevent the balloon from going too far up.
They have it all down to a science.
Once we drop the equipment, probably 10-15 minutes before they're getting passengers in there.
And we're ready for takeoff.
So we radio checked our pilot, make sure we have communication with him. He's gonna give us a direction, we're gonna head that way.
I'm at 6,300 feet, 16,320.
They're communicating with us where to go. We're communicating to them where we are, what the wind is doing down here on the surface.
We're gonna plan the Petroglyphs hangout by Riverview. Let me know what the winds are when you get there.
We tell him the wind is doing exactly what he wants. He's probably gonna land here and tell us to keep our feet on the ground here. But if it's a different direction, he might pass on, or we might have to drive to a different location.
They test the wind with whatever they can find.
We'll kick dirt, we'll look at trees, we'll look at flags. I usually use Windex. Copy here at Riverview. It's going north, light and variable, maybe 1 to 2. So now he just told us that we have to go a little bit more north. We're too far south.
So we stay on the move, looking for the right place to land.
Bump.
What are you guys seeing at the gravel pit?
At the gravel pit, it is going south, southeast, 5 to 6.
And after about an hour in the air, we found it.
So we're looking to land in that big open area over there.
That's our balloon. We're gonna fly that way. And then he's come right to us.
The balloon drifts towards us, coming in for a smooth landing.
Perfect.
The day isn't done just yet. It's time to tear down. Getting the air out of the envelope is no easy task. It's a lot of heavy lifting to get everything packed up.
Pretty good cardio in the morning, I guess.
All those smiling faces made possible by this team behind the scenes.
Over the years, Balloon Fiesta has evolved, becoming much more than just balloons.
From collectibles like pins and posters to the beloved breakfast burritos, there's so much that makes Fiesta memorable. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors.
They're such a great collectible piece. They're something you can carry around in your suitcase. They travel lightly when you go places, and they're really commemorative of what you've been to.
Balloon Fiesta pins are highly sought after and traded long after Balloon Fiesta ends. At the event, you can find thousands of them for sale and even get your hands on some older, rare ones during trading events.
Well, I have the bumblebees, and I know they have other ones here, so just trying to add.
Each year's event has its own official pin. Some balloons have them too.
I have the Ballooning Bad Eclipse pin and the Baby T-Rex.
A small memento for a big memory.
I love kids being happy when they pick out pins. And the best part, we have clearance pins from previous years that they can just go crazy and start their pin collection. I love it. I love seeing happy faces.
Posters are also popular. Some of the vintage ones sell for nearly $1,000. Official posters go back to 1979, each one unique in its design and story.
You can see the mountains in the background, a beautiful sunset, and the balloon is the very centerpiece of this poster.
And you can't miss the trading cards.
Every year, Balloon Fiesta produces and gives away almost close to 1 million cards.
Each pilot gets 1,000 cards. Special shapes get 2,000. They hand them out during launches and glows, a special way to connect with everyone.
For a little kid to come up and maybe you've got the balloon that's their favorite, to get a souvenir that's a trading card, and a lot of times, sometimes you can get the pilot to sign them. So for them, it means the world. It's like meeting your favorite sports star.
And we can't forget about the food. Early morning breakfast burritos are a staple at Balloon Fiesta.
On a good average day, on the Saturday and the Sunday, it's about 2,800 to 3,000 burritos.
The 9 days of Fiesta, some of the most important of the year for these local businesses, giving a taste of Albuquerque to visitors from around the globe. Of course, the hot air balloons are the highlight of Fiesta, but there's other exciting sights in the sky when the balloons are not flying.
Now, one of the newer events that's quickly become a favorite is the drone light show.
It's beautiful, but they're a lot of work to get off the ground.
Please direct your attention to the western sky.
Hundreds of lights in the sky coming together to form shapes and designs that are uniquely Fiesta. From a 3D hot air balloon inflating to red and green chilies, there's a lot of creativity that goes into designing this show.
Balloonists love to have fun in the air and show off their skills with things like a splash and dash.
You can see it before the balloons launch and in the evening. Preparations start weeks in advance. The entire show is only about 10 minutes, but takes 60 to 80 hours to put together.
The design software we use, it basically gives every drone its flight path. And that's why they have to connect to a specific GPS coordinate so they know what their flight path is.
But it's all worth it to put a smile on someone's face.
People just really love drone light shows. They really think they're beautiful. They are a whole lot of fun. They love watching them. They're always a surprise.
One of those shapes shows another Fiesta favorite, Team Fast Track Skydiving. The show features an 8,000 square foot American flag. The skydivers even have fireworks strapped to their ankles.
What we're doing is a highly rehearsed, very precise exercise. There's no room for error, right? When you're adding, the fireworks, the explosives, you're adding aircraft at night.
It all makes for an incredible show for the spectators below and for the divers too.
It's the most beautiful views of the valley. You can see all of Albuquerque as the sun is slowly beginning to set. You have the beautiful Sandia Mountains in the background.
The special shape balloons are always a favorite.
Yeah, this year there will be 106 of them with pilots from all around the country and world. 16 will be flying for the first time. Brazil has a good showing this year with 7 new shapes, a family of blue and red macaws, a turtle, and Hunter the Fox. Some fun characters too, Frank Boy and a cartoon caveman. Plus a candy house with lots of sweet treats. From Canada, a smiling sun with clouds and a rainbow, scuba diver from Germany. And one shape showcasing culture and tradition, Mazu is representing Taiwan and shaped as the Chinese sea goddess. Little closer to home, some cute dogs, Barks from Illinois. From Utah, a pup named Churro with the dog as the co-pilot, and a police dog. colorful brain from Montana, and a concrete truck from Texas. Finally, a balloon that's truly New Mexican. Zozobra is one of the largest shapes this year, making its debut in honor of the tradition's 100th anniversary.
So many new experiences to look forward to, but also a time to reflect on Balloon Fiesta's history. We'll take you through some of Fiesta's most iconic moments.
And honoring a legend in the ballooning community.
He may not be here, but what he has done for the sport will be on display in many ways in Balloon Fiesta.
Welcome back. The Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is celebrating its 52nd year, more than 5 decades of balloons and memories.
And we have been there as Balloon Fiesta has grown into the event it is today, seeing the impact it's had on Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the world.
From launch to landing and meeting all of you, today we're taking you through some of the most iconic moments of Fiesta. It all started with just 13 balloons in a mall parking lot in 1972. No one could have guessed it would turn into the magnificent event it is today, with more than 550 balloons.
It's just really special to be here at the Balloon Fiesta.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm hooked on it.
To make room for all of them, Fiesta moved to several different locations before landing at its current home, Balloon Fiesta Park.
See him? Okay, good.
Ever since, we've been there experiencing it all along with you.
Why is it that we can't find the Roadrunner balloon right now?
Sharing the countless stories of the pilots.
Great day to be flying.
Balloons.
We're getting a little bit of a right hook, Clarence.
And visitors.
The hot air makes it rise because hot air is lighter than cold air.
And preserving those special memories for years to come.
This is absolutely incredible. I have never seen anything like this.
The 80s brought new events that have become Fiesta staples.
All right.
Balloon glows. And special shapes rodeos.
It's all these kind of crazy looking things that'll be featured on Thursday.
Look at that, the clown's hand is even waving.
We fly both the Virgin Jumbo 3 and Tony the Tiger, and they both get a very interesting and delightful reaction from the crowd.
We all have our favorites. Arabelle the Creamland cow, standing at 80 feet tall and 120 feet long. The Wells Fargo Stagecoach, the Bee family.
This is the new addition to the family named Jolie.
And the very first special shape, Chickaboom. The event was a favorite at first flight.
The gridlock all Northeast Heights because it was such a huge success.
In 1981, gas balloons became a part of Fiesta. They went on to host the prestigious Gordon Bennett race 5 times, bringing pilot teams from around the world to Albuquerque. Fiesta has also set some world records. In 2019, launching 524 balloons at the morning mass ascension, the most ever. The theme, Picture Perfect, quite fitting that year. And just last year, setting a record for the largest display of remote-controlled balloons. 58 of these Globitos lifted off, beating the previous record held by Germany.
Pure joy, pure joy. And that's what this whole fiesta is about.
The event hit a major milestone in 2022, celebrating its 50th anniversary, honoring the father of Fiesta, Sid Cutter, with a special balloon.
We really feel like we settled on the best design. And then also to see the silhouette of Sid Cutter in the top, big time.
And a special reenactment flight of the very first Balloon Fiesta. 13 balloons taking off from Coronado Center. A day filled with emotion for those who've been there since the beginning.
It means everything to us. This is our dad. He made every single fiesta except for 2 when he was ill, and he just passed 3 years ago. So this is so beautiful to take this moment 50 years later to really celebrate the original 13.
Balloon Fiesta wouldn't be what it is today without the innovation of one man, an icon in the ballooning community.
Scott Appleman passed away this year, but his legacy will fly on.
He had a good heart and great sense of humor.
He was the most passionate person I knew.
He was fearless. I mean, if you said you can't do something, I just told him, Watch me.
If you don't know the name Scott Appleman, chances are you know his balloons, the bright yellow ones speckled with colorful rectangles, and that signature phrase, bucket list. Appleman founded Rainbow Riders more than 40 years ago, making balloon rides possible for just about anyone.
He was a great ideas guy.
An important part of Balloon Fiesta, developing some of the most popular events from special-shaped rodeos to glows.
When you see the balloons go at night, you should think of Scott.
We spoke with him last year and asked about his favorite Fiesta memory. He told us about that very first balloon glow.
And the night that went off, I still get chills when I think about it in 1987, being part of that and having that happen and having the opportunity to be part of the Balloon Fiesta and to bring that to the Fiesta.
The man who taught him to fly, reflecting on those early days.
He caught on right away. Yeah, he was a natural flyer.
Okay, guys, we're gonna land here. Keep your knees bent.
And his passion for ballooning only grew. He told us about his favorite part of being in the air.
It's seeing the smiles and the reactions of the people that we fly.
I think it's beautiful up here.
We're creating memories for people and an experience that they're going to talk about for the rest of their life.
Scott created countless memories for people in Albuquerque and around the world.
He was a man who was generous of spirit in every way, from helping new pilots to doing everything he could to help sustain the sport of ballooning in New Mexico and across the world.
He even created a program to train new pilots to ensure the sport he loved will be enjoyed for years to come.
He really was a pioneer and had done so much for this community as it relates to ballooning, and he reinvented, if not invented, the word bucket list.
Even helping Henrietta Vaughn check off hers. For 20 years, she dreamed of flying in a hot air balloon, but balloons could not accommodate her in a wheelchair.
This is something I wanted to do, but I didn't think it would ever happen.
But it did happen. Rainbow Riders becoming the first company to have a disability-accessible balloon at Fiesta.
The beautiful balloons all around us, and it was just fantastic.
Making people happy made Scott smile.
If you ever watched him celebrate after a ride with a group, the first time they'd ever been up, he was enjoying the celebration just like it was the first time, every time.
A legacy that will live on in the Albuquerque sky every October and every day.
He may not be here, but what he has done for the sport will be on display in many ways in Balloon Fiesta.
Scott made his mark in this community, and I think it'll be felt forever. It's one of those things where you'll look up and you'll see him, and you'll see those balloons. Everybody knows, Rainbow Rider balloons.
Scott Appleman created once-in-a-lifetime experiences for so many people at Fiesta, including all of us. Scott was never too busy to answer questions about hot air ballooning, whether it was a little kid or someone visiting from out of state. He was always so gracious with his knowledge.
I know everybody lines up on Balloon Fiesta days to get a ride with Rainbow Riders, but a lot of times, when the cameras weren't on early in the morning or later in the evening, he would take up special needs folks and people with special challenges, and a lot of people don't realize it.
He was gracious to us in the media. He gave me my first balloon ride. It was quick, right? He found out we're doing this interview and he's like, "You've never been up?" And so he lifted off quickly for me just so I could feel the sensation. Kind of windy that day, but he knew what he was doing.
Oh, what a good memory. He just had such a passion for what he did. He wanted to share it with everybody. Of course, responsible for the Special Shakes Rodeo, which is always one of our favorites at Balloon Fiesta. Balloon Fiesta is an experience unlike any other, and we want to leave you with some special moments. This is Fiesta through the years.
Spectacular.
Very colorful.
Fun.
Mesmerizing.
I think this is the Super Bowl of hot air balloons.
It's really amazing. It's to see every single balloon.
There's nothing else like it in the world, really.